All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something really special for Ramadan Taraweeh prayer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've got this YouTube podcast script called Understanding Taraweeh, a special Ramadan prayer that's going to kind of be our guide as we go through this.
All right.
Yeah, and we'll explore what this prayer is all about, where it comes from, and why it means so much to Muslims around the world.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so, just to start us off, for anyone who might not be familiar, what exactly is Taraweeh prayer?
So Taraweeh is a special prayer that's performed during the month of Ramadan at night, right after the Isha prayer. And it's really beautiful. The community comes together, and they often will try to recite the whole Quran by the end of the month.
Wow, the entire Quran, that's a pretty big goal.
It is a big goal, yeah.
I'd love to hear a little more about, what makes this prayer so unique.
So the word Taraweeh itself means to rest and relax.
Oh, interesting.
Which is funny because they actually build that into the prayer.
Okay.
So every 4 rakats, there's like a little break for reflection.
That makes sense. It's not just like going through the motions.
Exactly.
But really taking the time to absorb it all.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, and this practice has been around for centuries, right?
Yeah, for centuries.
Where did it all begin?
We can actually trace it back to the Prophet Muhammad.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so initially he led these prayers, but then he chose to stop because he was concerned that his followers would view it as obligatory.
So it sounds like finding that balance was really important to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it didn't just disappear, did it?
No, it did not.
What happened?
So during the time of the Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab, the practice was revived of praying Taraweeh in congregation. He really saw the value and the beauty of praying together. And so it's been a key part of Ramadan ever since.
That's incredible centuries of tradition.
Yeah.
I've heard that the Prophet Muhammad spoke about Taraweeh offering forgiveness of sins. Is there more to that?
Yeah, there's a saying, a hadith attributed to the Prophet Muhammad that talks about the spiritual rewards of Taraweeh.
Okay.
It emphasizes praying with sincere faith and seeking reward from Allah.
Okay, so forgiveness is a powerful thing for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
But I'm guessing there's more to it than that. What are some other ways that praying Taraweeh can impact someone's life, especially during Ramadan?
Yeah, you're right. Forgiveness is huge, but there's like a whole spectrum of benefits.
Okay.
It's not just about, not getting punished or anything, but like building a deeper connection with the Quran, fostering this inner peace, and strengthening bonds within the community.
I can see how those benefits could be really transformative, especially during a month like Ramadan. But I also have to wonder, with the demands of fasting and, changes in sleep schedules, how do people actually maintain this practice every single night?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, balancing it all with the overall, challenge of just being in Ramadan.
Right.
One of the biggest hurdles people face is just fatigue.
Oh, for sure.
You're fasting all day.
Yeah.
It can really drain you. And then staying up late for Taraweeh can make it worse.
Yeah, it's like your body's in overdrive.
Yeah.
But you can't exactly skip Taraweeh if you want to experience those benefits.
Right.
What would you suggest for someone who's really struggling with that?
Well, I think it's important to remember that the quality of your prayer matters more than the quantity.
Okay.
So instead of pushing yourself to pray the full 20 rakats when you're exhausted, maybe just pray a shorter number at home, or even just focus on listening to a recitation of the Quran. Adapting the practice, to your needs and energy levels can make it more sustainable.
Yeah, that's actually really helpful.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off, feeling like you have to do everything perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more about finding what works for you.
It's about being mindful of your own capacity.
Okay.
And, speaking of mindfulness, another challenge people face is distraction.
Oh, yeah.
Maintaining that focus during Taraweeh.
Right.
Especially when you're tired or preoccupied, it can be really difficult.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced that?
Oh, absolutely. All the time, even outside of Ramadan.
Okay.
My mind wanders during prayer.
Right.
I can only imagine how much harder it is during a longer prayer like Taraweeh.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're fasting.
Absolutely.
It's common, we're bombarded by thoughts and distractions all the time.
Right.
But, the good thing is there are things we can do to cultivate that focus and presence. Right. So, for instance, you could consciously try to connect with the meaning of the verses as they're being recited.
Yeah.
Think about how they relate to your own life.
I've definitely been guilty of just letting the words wash over me.
Yeah.
Without really absorbing them. So
yeah.
That's a really interesting approach, you know,
Yeah.
to try to personalize the experience.
Connect on a deeper level.
Yeah, exactly.
What about,
Yeah.
another approach is to focus on your breath
Okay.
and the physical sensations of prayer.
Yeah.
Really kind of grounding yourself in the present moment.
Right.
Quieting the mind.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Those techniques sound really helpful.
Yeah.
Just for grounding and centering yourself. It's almost like a form of meditation in a way.
Yeah.
But, shifting gears a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about the rewards.
Yeah.
We talked about forgiveness.
Uh-huh.
But I'm curious about,
yeah,
the less obvious ways that Taraweeh can impact someone's life.
There's this really profound sense of spiritual renewal that comes with this practice, through the repetition of the prayer.
Yeah.
The recitation.
Right.
That quiet contemplation.
Uh-huh.
You can experience like a deep connection with the divine.
Yeah.
And, Menafra brings a sense of peace,
Okay.
clarity,
Right.
renewed purpose.
Right.
And that extends, beyond the prayer mat.
Into other areas of your life.
Yeah.
What stands out to you as like one of the most impactful aspects
That's a good question.
of Taraweeh?
I think for me, it's the community.
Okay.
And praying alongside others who share your faith, striving towards a common goal. It creates this really powerful feeling of unity and shared purpose.
Okay.
And I think that collective energy is truly special.
Yeah, that must be an incredibly uplifting experience, especially during Ramadan.
Yeah.
Like having this built-in support system to keep you motivated and connected. Are there any other rewards that we haven't really touched on?
Yeah, beyond the communal aspect, there's also a really unique opportunity for personal growth.
Okay.
The discipline and commitment that it takes to consistently pray Taraweeh, especially while fasting. It cultivates these valuable qualities.
Okay.
Like self-control, patience, and a deeper understanding of your own spiritual needs.
Wow, it sounds like a spiritual workout.
Yeah.
Strengthening those inner muscles.
Yeah, exactly.
And as with any workout, consistency is key, but I think what's really resonating with me is that Taraweeh is so much more than just a ritual.
Right.
It's an opportunity for this deep, spiritual exploration, connection, growth.
You hit the nail on the head. And I think that's a perfect transition to talking about, practically how do we approach this journey, in our final part of this deep dive.
Okay.
We're going to talk about tips and resources to help you make the most
of
your Taraweeh experience this Ramadan.
All right, so we're back, and I'm feeling pretty pumped, after exploring, the history and the impact of Taraweeh.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to dive into the practical stuff,
Me too.
how to actually
get practical.
How to actually do this.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of tips and resources that can really enhance your experience.
Let's unpack some of those. What's a good place to start?
I would say preparation.
Yep.
Preparation is key. Ramadan is such a whirlwind of activity.
Yeah.
Taking some time beforehand to plan and set your intentions can make all the difference.
Makes sense. It's like laying the groundwork for a more meaningful experience.
Totally.
How do you suggest people go about that?
Start with some self-reflection.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what do I hope to achieve spiritually during this month?
Okay.
How do I envision Taraweeh fitting into my journey?
So getting really clear on your personal goals for Ramadan.
Yes.
Almost like you're creating a spiritual roadmap.
Exactly, like a roadmap.
I like that.
And then you can create a practical plan.
Okay.
So this might include deciding how many rockets you're going to pray each night, choosing a mosque.
Okay.
Or finding a recitation of the Quran that you really connect with.
Yeah, that takes the pressure off, feeling like you have to jump right in.
Totally. Start small.
Yeah.
Gradually increase. Consistency is more important than doing too much too soon.
Okay, that's reassuring, especially if you're new to it all.
Yeah.
Are there other things that can help, get the most out of it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think creating an environment conducive to prayer can really enhance the experience.
Okay.
Find a quiet space in your home.
Okay.
Dim the lights.
Yeah.
Maybe use some aromatherapy.
I love that.
Yeah. Engage all your senses.
Yeah.
Make it immersive.
To make it more meaningful.
Exactly. And don't forget about technology.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's so many apps and websites now that offer guided Taraweeh prayers, recitations, reflections.
That's great, especially for people who are looking for a little extra guidance.
Yeah, definitely.
What about the social aspect? We were talking earlier about how important that is.
Yeah, attending prayers at a mosque, if you can, can really amplify the experience. That collective energy, the shared devotion, it's incredibly uplifting.
It must be so motivating to have that community around you.
It is.
What if someone can't make it to a mosque, though?
Yeah.
Are there other ways to connect?
Yeah, even if you can't physically be there, consider connecting virtually.
Okay. With friends or family.
Yeah, share your experiences, support each other on your spiritual journeys.
So it's all about finding your community.
Yeah.
Whether it's online or in person. But at the end of the day, what matters most is your intention.
You said it.
Yeah.
Approach Taraweeh with an open heart and willingness to be present in each moment.
That's a powerful reminder. It's not about perfection. It's about the journey.
You got to let go of expectations and allow yourself to be guided by something greater.
Well, I think we've covered a lot today.
We did.
From the history and the meaning to practical tips and the importance of intention.
Yeah.
We really explored a lot.
Yeah, it's been a great exploration.
As we wrap up, what resonated most with you about Taraweeh?
I think for me, it's that transformative power of it.
Yeah.
A chance to shed old habits, to connect with your faith, and to emerge from Ramadan with a renewed sense of purpose.
And I think that's something we can all aspire to.
Absolutely.
As you prepare for Ramadan, think about how Taraweeh could be more than just a ritual.
Yeah.
It's a path to deeper understanding, connection, and peace. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Taraweeh prayer.
Thanks for having me.
We hope you feel inspired to embrace all the beauty and blessings this Ramadan.